amateur all the way, baby.
Hello and welcome to Talking Good Game. It's a preview of the League Cup match between Oxford United and West Ham United. There was a potential banana skin in the last round for West Ham, but they got through it pretty comfortably. Is this another potential banana skin, or should this one be smoother sailing? That's what we're here to discuss and give you what team lineups we would like to see for West Ham. Gonzo, as always, this could be a quick answer. What's your thoughts on Oxford United?
Oxford United, we're playing them at the wrong time, Geo. They sit mid-table in League One, but it's a team in confident mood, in confident form. They just won 6-0 at the weekend, which is their, I think they're undefeated in 3. And it wasn't against the lowly people. This is actually against Lincoln, who were just above them in the league. And Lincoln have been playing well. So where that came from, I don't know. They got some players you might recognise in Jamie Mackey, who, of course, is a journeyman who's played throughout the leagues. He played really well at QPR, I seem to remember, a few years ago. They got a couple of lads on loan from Liverpool. Ben Woodburn will be the guy that people will perhaps recognise that name. There is a West Ham association. That's Rob Hall. So those of you that remember Rob Hall, there's a second West Ham association, and this one's really funny. When I was doing my research earlier, they have got a young defender called Sam Allardyce. Fancy that. Is it a coincidence? No, it's not. Yes, it's the Jurassic one, the Cretaceous one's grandson. So he's now playing for Oxford, and they've also got somebody with a surname of Long and somebody with a surname of Dickey. So we've got to be very, very careful.
Well, you've certainly been looking at the team at Oxford United. I'll give you that one. To be fair, you pulled out the right player, Woodburn. That's the one that caught my eye as well. And Fosu, I think his name is. The only reason I know him is because he was at Charlton last year, when they were in League One, and he did all right for Charlton actually. So I didn't know he was playing for Oxford now. So that's a decent enough signing for them. To give context, when you mentioned they beat Lincoln 6-0, that is correct, but Lincoln just lost their managers, remember. They went to Huddersfield. The Crowley brothers went to Huddersfield, so that's why I think Lincoln are in disarray. They've just lost the people, they've lost the glue of that club. So it's not the 6-0 was a surprise. It's a big scoreline. This is, everybody were talking about Man City thumping Watford. Well, actually, it's probably more impressive Oxford United putting 6 past Lincoln. They are the second highest goal scorers in League One. So they do concede quite a bit, Oxford, but there tends to be goals at their place. I think they're averaging about 3.3 goals per game at their place this season. So while they concede, they do tend to find the net pretty well. But saying that, I noticed that they drew 0-0 away to Bolton, who everybody's been beating this season. So that was a bit of a slip up for them. As Gonzo said, 12 in the league. And 1 loss in their last 7 in all competitions. Are you worried about this fixture, Gonzo? When the balls came out the hat and we got Oxford United away, was it a case of, oh no, are we thinking actually, I fancy that?
Oh, no, I wasn't worried. I was high-five. I was on my own. I was high-fiving myself. I was really pleased. That's a clap, isn't it? High-fiving yourself, actually. But yeah, I was pleased. Yeah, we've got to be happy with this. I don't want Man United. Well, actually, yes, I do. What am I talking about? Let's pick somebody else. I don't want Liverpool or Manchester City away from home. I want the easiest route to the final that we could possibly have. And you know what? Even if we were, by some freak of nature, able to get to Wembley, do you know what? I would still want a lower league club in the final at Wembley. I want to win a trophy. So I think this is a good draw for us.
Yeah, I completely agree on paper, because that's what it is at the minute. We're just discussing this as a game on paper. It's ideal. You want to be drawn against a League 1 or League 2 side. Home or away shouldn't really make too much difference, but away does give the team the slight edge. They're going to have 10,000 fans there on Wednesday night, or I think it's approaching a sellout anyway. It won't be too far off a sellout, I was reading earlier. Does it worry you, though, that it's sort of, sometimes it can be cup final atmosphere almost when you're playing away to a lower league side?
Not really, no. It shouldn't do. I hope we've learnt our lesson from last season. I'm sure there won't. Yeah, he's going to have to make some changes, and I understand that because the matches are coming thick and fast. But I hope it's not wholesale. I hope we still have a nucleus of 5 or 6 first teamers in there, and their fans may well make a lot of noise, but so will our fans as well, and we'll be up for it. We'll be enjoying it, and No, I mean you expect that. You expect a lower league team for it to be their cup final in many respects, and for them to hope that it's not their cup final. Hopefully for them they will get through to the next round again. But even once you've weighed all of that up, I would still prefer a raucous, partisan, lower league away crowd than, quite frankly, being drawn against Manchester City.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at the away end will also be a good atmosphere as well. So it's not just primarily that the home fans are making the only noise. The away fans would be making their din as well. They're in a good run of form. That's the only thing that worries me a little bit, that they are in a good nick at the minute and they're scoring goals. Newport, when we played them, they weren't scoring much. They were just keeping clean sheets, and there was a case of, well, we keep them out, we'll probably win the game because they're just not scoring many at all. Whereas Oxford, you fancy there's a goal in them, and there's experienced players in there actually, like Jamie Mack, as experienced as you can get in League One. I think mid-30s now. He's been there, done it in every league, still scoring in the lower leagues and stuff. So he's someone that you've got to look out for. But even when we rotate our team, it's still a Premier League team on paper. That's what we're going to get on to in a second. Gonzo, I asked you earlier for your 11. I've got it. It's a way to pop up the screen now for you viewers at home. So would you care to tell us your team and why you have chosen certain players, if you wish?
Yes, I chose Fabianski in goal, if I remember correctly. I don't want to muck around with a goalkeeper. Let's not do anything silly. He doesn't need a rest. I mean, let's be fair. He stands there for most of the game, doing absolutely nothing. He had almost nothing to do against Manchester United, did he? So he's going to be fit as a fiddle. I understand that Fredericks came off with a slight knock, so I'm going to play Ben Johnson there for this one. I wouldn't ideally like to muck around with the centre back pairing too much, but I understand that he might want to. So I've gone with Balbuena and Issa Diop. Masuaku comes back in only because Cresswell is going to start in the game against Bournemouth at the weekend. This is not fact, by the way. This is just my opinion on it. I have gone with Robert Snodgrass and Declan Rice in the middle. Mark Noble put in a wonderful shift, but he is getting on a bit, and I'm not sure 3 games in a week is going to be very, very good for him. So we rest him. We put Snodgrass in there. Felipe Anderson had his collar felt and was pulled off, if you pardon the expression, on 70 minutes in the game against Man U, so he should be fresh. I've gone for Nathan Holland on the other wing because, I think we need pace. I think Yarmolenko again, I think we'd be pushing our luck as he's just coming back from injury as well. I've gone for Jack Wilshere to play in the team. I thought he was very good coming on as a sub as well against Man U. I thought he looked pretty good, pretty sharp, and he did very, very well in the previous round in the Carabao Cup. And I've gone for Sebastian Haller up front because I don't want to muck around. Ajeti might be good. I don't know. He might be, he might not be. Particularly, I don't want to find out. I know Haller is good, so he starts.
Is there anyone you'd be hoping to see come off the bench if things are going well for West Ham?
If things are going well, bring Ajeti on by all means. If we're 3 or 4-0 up, bring Winston Reid on. Give him a little run out. Give him a stretch of the legs by all means. I think, I can't think of too many others, to be honest with you.
Conor Coventry is another player I'd like to see brought on if things are going well. I think he'll be in the squad. I'd be surprised if he's not on the bench at the very least. I'm a bit worried actually that Johnson will be on the bench too. I think he'd probably go with Zabaleta in Masuaku. I do think he'll just keep Johnson on there. But Colin Coventry is someone I wouldn't start with him. I'll read out my team in a second. Gonzo's not heard it, but I'll read out my team in a second. Slightly different to Gonzo's, but Coventry is someone that I think must be knocking on the door at some point. And this is the ideal game for Josh Cullen if he was still at the club. This is where you should get him in the starting 11 and stuff. But he's away. He's playing game time in the Championship. But anyway, here is my team that I would like to see line up on Wednesday against Oxford United. I'm also going with Fabianski in goal because same reasons as Gonzo. Why change it? And to be honest with you, looking at my team now at a glance, I'd maybe given the captain's armband actually. There's one other guy that I might get but Gonzo doesn't have him in his team. Who would you give the captain's armband to in your team?
Probably Declan.
This makes sense. A lot of people will agree with you on that one. I've gone with Ben Johnson right back as well because no disrespect to Zabaleta, but he's not here next year. come May, we applaud him, we thank him for his services, off he goes. Ben Johnson could be our first choice right back next season with a season in and out the team under his belt. You just never know. There's only one way to find out, and this is ideal for him. It's League One opposition. If you were to loan out Ben Johnson, he'd probably be aiming for the Championship anyway, so this is arguably above his level as well. I've gone for a complete change in the centre back position with Balbuena and Winston Reid. I don't want to mess up the Ogbonna and Diop one, so I wouldn't want to swap just one because they were used to playing with each other. So I don't want us to take out Ogbonna and put Reid in, and Diop's playing with Reid for 90 minutes. No. Just keep the partnership whole. In order to do that, I would remove the whole partnership because Balbuena needs to. For me, Balbuena has to play on Wednesday. He's got to keep up his mark sharpness. And Reid is solid. He's a damn good defender. He'll cope against Oxford. Pre-season looked good. It's all about, is he fit enough to start? And if so, brilliant, get him in. Masuaku, same reasons as Gonzo, really. Midfield, a bit different. I put Carlos Sanchez in there because I thought he was brilliant against Newport. Against Newport, I thought it was brilliant. I don't think Declan has anything to prove anymore. I'd rest Declan. I keep him on the bench just in case we needed him, but wrap Declan in bubble wrap when we can get him and put him on the bench. Alongside Sanchez, I'd be playing Robert Snodgrass, just like Gonzo, and I'd also have Wiltshire ahead of them for the same reasons. Holland on the wing, the boy's got to be given a chance. He really has to be given a chance. I don't think he will start. I don't think Pellegrini will start him, but I'd be disappointed in Pellegrini if he's not on the bench. If he's not on the bench on Wednesday, I will think you've got this wrong. There's no. Why would you have Anderson ahead of him in the squad? Because there's no point. Lanzini's injured. Yarmolenko's not 100% fit, going by the looks of it. So there's no point in having him in the squad. Give Holland a run out. He's been a couple of, I don't know, you wouldn't have seen this, but he's done a couple of cryptical Twitter likes. I think Nathan Holland, he scored. Who did they play the other night? And he scored. Borough, or did they play Middlesbrough?
Can't remember.
It's Borough. He scored the opening goal, and I quoted it. I said, "Who's shocked? Nobody. Absolutely nobody." Nathan Holland liked it, and he's probably liking it to say thanks for the support, boys. But at the same time, you do wonder if he's liking it as if say, "You can see it. I'm doing it. Everyone else can see it." The boy's going to be disappointed at this point not to have game time. He's got to get it on Wednesday for me. Fornals for me. He needs game time. He needs to get used to playing in England, and for that, I'd aim to give him 90 minutes on Wednesday, just to get him up to scratch with the game. Let him get kicked a couple of times. Let him have a couple of hard tackles. Give him the responsibility. In my lineup there, you're looking at Fornals as the main attacking creator in the team. There's no Anderson. There's no Lanzini. They're not there to bail you out, mate. You're the one that's going to have to pull all the strings alongside Jack Wiltshire here. You've got young Holland in the team there. Now, while Fornals is young, he's a lot more experienced than Nathan Holland in terms of first team football. So I'd be saying you need to look after him out on the wing. And I've gone Ayeti up front for the same reasons as Gonzo hasn't actually. I don't know if he's good, but I want to find out because he's our second choice striker. And at some point, we're going to need to start him in the Premier League up front. Allaire might get suspended, he might miss a game. He's going to be the guy that comes in up front, and it's best to find out against Oxford if he's crap than it is at home to Burnley or something. I'd rather find out on Wednesday night. But anyway, with all that in mind, do you agree or disagree with anything I've said or chosen, Gonzo?
Well, I just feel that we go on, you and I, about the cup being very, very important. I think if your team, if you put your team out, I think there would be a massive inquest if we went out the cup. I think if he changed his centre-back pairing and played the rookie striker up front as well, I think we'd be saying he's not taking this cup seriously. I know why. Yes, we should beat Oxford. We really should. But I think the more players you change, the less likely that becomes. Obviously I disagree with your team because I picked a different team. But yeah, see, I'm not even sure I totally agree with what you said about Ajeti. I'd rather find out he was crap against Burnley than Oxford. I think this is our biggest game of the season so far.
I agree with that. I always say that as well. When it's a cup game, that's your most important one until the next cup game. So, but the thing with Ajeti, I thought he did fine against Newport. Yeah. I thought he did well. He was unlucky. He was winning a lot in the air and headers and stuff. He just needed a bit of a rub of the green, if you like, and he might get it on Wednesday. But it swings and roundabouts. Of course, if he was to play that 11 and we went out, we'd all sit here and say, "Well, come on, Pellegrini." But I'd also sit here and say, but to be fair, that team should be winning. That team's full of experience. Any of them could be starting for us in the Premier League, and you wouldn't... Like, Balbuena was our main centre-back last year, in my opinion. He was a contender for Hammer of the Year. He's not bad. Fabianski, Wiltshire, Fornals is £25 million. Ayeti's our second choice striker. It's a strong team. But swings and roundabouts, if you put that team out on Wednesday and we win comfortably, you're going to say, well, masterclass by Pellegrini because he's rested all the big players and we've comfortably gone through. So it's all hindsight, isn't it?
No, I would always go with a blend. I do understand he has to. I perhaps wouldn't go as much as you would. And of course, I mitigate it by most of our players would get, well, all of our players, every single one, even the substitute ones that we've discussed, would all be the best player at Oxford. That's really, really clear. So that has to stand for something. Having said that, everyone that we played when we faced Wimbledon last year, everyone in our team then was better than all the Wimbledon players. Every single one of those players would have been a superstar in a Wimbledon team, and it didn't quite transpire and manifest itself in a win. So a lot of it's about attitude. They have to go out there with a correct attitude, and that more than any other reason is why I've got Declan Rice in the team, because I watched that Wimbledon game last season and I really was bemoaning the fact that Rice didn't play because someone needed it was insipid. Obiang was strolling around and all the rest of it, and but I did, to be fair, I did forget about Sanchez when I was making up my team. I forgot we had him. I forgot he was a West Ham player. So I also forgot when you said anyone else to come on. And you're right, he did play well last time we saw him. So I am excited. I do think we'll win, but you know me, mate. I'm a bit paranoid.
Do you think our good start to the season in the league allows us to focus more on the cup than we might have done had we lost a couple more games than we do? 11 points in 6 games. You've got a quarter of your points haul already. If you're looking at Premier League safety as a minimum, you're already 25% of the way there, aren't you?
I think we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. I think if we're languishing at the bottom and we're struggling for points, Pellegrini's there saying, well, look, we really need to concentrate on the league. The league is the most important. We must stay safe. I think because we've done really well, we find ourselves in 5th or joint 3rd, whatever you want to call it. I think Pellegrini's there thinking, well, hold on, the league's most important. We've got to concentrate on the league. We can qualify for Europe here because we know he loves Europe as obviously the continental managers do. So I'm not sure. You're almost better. You're almost better being in 11th, if you know what I mean, with no chance of that. But that would come later on. That's more with the FA Cup. I hope he goes for it. I hope he realises. You said remember we had that chat and somebody had said he does watch the odd video, doesn't he, Pellegrini? Does jump on and watch the odd West Ham YouTube video, and I doubt he's watching this one in particular. But I would love that somebody has told him, mate, you could be a legend if you just win a cup at West Ham. You are a legend forever. I mean, we would love him. West Ham would love him more for winning the League Cup than Man City love him for winning the league, if that makes sense.
It does, but it's arguably true because they're now spoilt with trophies, if you like. But I don't want that.
And they'd won it with Mancini before. He wasn't,
Yeah, I think that's harsh on City fans. It's almost like... I get what you're saying. It's rarer to win a cup with West Ham than it is Man City. But yeah, the statue will be going up of Pellegrini outside the London Stadium. He commissioned. Brady will be looking at taxpayers to pay again.
Brady might be in the statue with Pellegrini. I reckon the statue would be Pellegrini with his arm round Golden Sullivan. Brady in there. Lovely stuff. Lovely statue, eh?
We did this. All of us. All 4 of us did this. But anyway, I think I know the answer to this. Confident?
Yeah, very confident, mate. Very much so.
Yeah, I have to agree. We've got the better team. It's about attitude. We get the attitude spot on. Should be in the draw. We should be in the hat for the bowl, the glass bowl. We should be in the glass bowl for the next round. I get what you're saying. Damned if you do, damned if you don't about the league. Because on Sunday after the game when we were coming away, and I had said to a couple of people, we can afford to drop a couple of points in the league now to really focus on the cup, and straight away they were like, no, we need to get as much points because we can get into the top 6 this season. I thought, fair, but I thought we could also concentrate on the league and still not get in the top 6. you know, we've seen too many managers sacrifice the cups at West Ham. Moyes especially, not so much Pellegrini last season, but I don't think he cared too much about the cups last season. I think he got his knuckles wrapped a little bit by the fan base for that. I think he might have realised that actually, hang on, these boys care more about. I don't think he was surprised on the last day of the season no one was celebrating finishing 10th. Let's put that. I don't think he expected an open bus parade or that, but I think he might have underestimated how much the cups mean to a fan base that's not at the top of the league, because he's just got that big club mentality. He needs to almost come away from the big club mentality where you just dismiss the cups and actually come down to not quite big club mentality, whereas the cups are actually the end all and be all potentially for some people. And unfortunately, it's a crap argument when we're doing a video, because me and you have the same mindset when it comes to cups. But unfortunately, Charlie and all that also have the same mindset as us. So I need to get someone that hates the cups to come on and a cup preview with us, so that it says actually play the kids and let's just focus on the league, because it'd be interesting to hear their perspective. Then we could have a bit of an argument.
Well, I hear their perspective, Geo, because I hear it, and there are so many, increasingly more fans who, because of the Champions League, and obviously I didn't grow up with the Champions League. You only got into Europe if you either won the league or you won a cup or something like that. You know, you had to win something. But because the way the Champions League is structured, there are a whole generation of fans now who finishing fourth is a target, is a celebration. You know, you don't get any trophy for it or anything, but you know, you look back and you get Champions League football, which is obviously, arguably, Champions League football is a better standard than the World Cup, which was never the case. The World Cup used to be the pinnacle of football. Not sure that it is anymore. You don't ever watch the World Cup anymore and think, oh, who's that player? I've never seen him before. You've already seen all the best players play because they're all playing the Champions League. So I think I can understand why, but there's still the old codger in me. I guess having been to a cup final as well probably helps. I know that occasion. I just know how wonderful it could be and it can be, and it's an event, it's an occasion. At the end of the day, it's sport. I'd love to win something. I'd love to win something with West Ham.
Indeed, as would I. I'm confident as well. We're confident. So, Gonzo, with that in mind, may I have your score prediction, please?
Oh, well, it looks like, alas, now he's left. We'll never get to see Oxford play against Holland, but I'm hoping we'll get to see Holland play against Oxford, and I'm going for a 4-0 win with a goal from Nathan Holland.
I'm going to go. I was going to say 4. I'll go 3-1 because I think he'll rotate quite a bit. I think he'll rotate quite a bit. I'll go 3-1 West Ham. But anyway, thanks for joining us. And you can join us after the game on Wednesday night for our match review. There's a video going up tomorrow night, actually. There's a video every night this week, I think. So tomorrow night we've got a vlog going up from yesterday, which is Sunday. And it's not from the Man United game, it's from the Chelsea game. What Chelsea game exactly? You can find out tomorrow night, because Abby was there and he was interviewing a few players and a few other people. It's good. It's a good vlog. It's good. It'll be interesting. So make sure you pop back for that. Subscribe if you're new around here. We'll catch you on Wednesday night. Cheers. This Sunday, West Ham women are taking on Spurs women at the London Stadium. Tickets are just £1 for adults, and kids go free. So check out the link in the description and pop along on Sunday. I will see you there. Catch you in a bit.